background in 2D. I moved to Orlando about 6 years ago. I went to school at Full Sail University for computer animation. So I also have a background in 3D. Early work was 2D illustration, a lot of marker and ink, spray paint, things like that. I really like to explore with different mediums. And then I decided I wanted to get into the 3D aspect of it more. I'm much more proficient in 3D. It becomes much more natural for me to produce work in 3D. I was never a big fan of sitting and rendering things out with paint. With the sculptural stuff, I like it because I can just make it and put some lighting on it, and there it is. I've been doing metalwork for about 3 years now. Before I started doing metalwork, I spent I would try to spend at least a half hour every day searching for other metal sculpture artists, and I built up a pretty big library. I pretty much have every artist who is on the internet. I have a list of them. So that was one of my goals, was to try to stand out in every single way possible. What I was kind of designed to do is be an artist. I've had several jobs growing up. I've never really enjoyed a single one of them. But I've also kind of had a lot of situations in my life where I've kind of tried to run away from art or kind of give it up, and I usually get forced back into it. I've always leaned more towards the creepy side of things. I think it's very beneficial to any artist, to branch out and do things that challenge them, and they're not used to doing. Like I have, the wolf, or like I made a chainsaw bat recently. But then I also have little delicate flowers I make and things like that. I create intuitively, so I don't really have too much of a plan. If I'm creating something like Goji, the robot, or the wolf boy, there's a lot of anatomy involved and things like that. So you really have to, for the wolf I had hundreds of pictures of wolves, and muscular, skeletal structures, all kinds of stuff. I had 30 to 40 different images of just a paw. And I actually had to go to the Cleveland Zoo to make sense of what I was doing at some point, So after that, with a piece like that, after you get the anatomy down and perfect and exactly how it needs to be, to get that sense of realism as far as anatomy goes, after that it's just having fun. And I try not to strangle the work too much. I kind of try to let it go in its own direction and do its own thing. And that's where the fun comes in, because if it wasn't fun, then I wouldn't be doing it. When someone hires me, I explain to them how I create things, and let them know that I'm going to deliver on them being satisfied with the work, so that I can kind of sneak some of that intuitive creating in there, because that's when I make my best stuff. This is I'm doing this piece for Don Drumm Studios, and so this is kind of one of the things that when I talked about creating intuitively, but also giving somebody something that they ask for. So I was asked to create pieces like bicycles, and there's a couple other things they wanted me to create that I think their clientele are interested in. And this ended up being one of my more favorite things I've made so far. I had a lot of fun doing this, and it's all found stuff. Most of this is junkyard. All these are campaign sign posts, or whatever, the little metal things that hold the signs. Got this plastic in an old abandoned building. And this is actual bike chain right here from old bicycle. And then I don't know what this wood was. It was in a fire at some point. But I love finding old wood. I like to mount a lot of my stuff to that. So basically, I'm having a lot of fun doing these little bikes because they're really tiny, and I get to make all these small little intricate welds, which is a lot of fun for me to do. As far as art goes, one thing I enjoy is just the creativity that people have, and exploring other people's art, and just kind of seeing things that I've never seen before, and I never would have unless that artist created it. I like kind of being able to do whatever I want, really, and being the one that's in control of it.